What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video here on Footy Talks. In today's video, we're going to be going over Barca's last match in their preseason tour in Asia. Barca did face off against Daegu FC. Daegu FC is another South Korean team that Barca did face off against. They are currently 12th place in their domestic league, so they are less of a quality opposition than compared to FC Seoul. But despite that, I still do think there is plenty to take away from this match, including certain player performances and player appearances as well in the first and second half. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. So in the first half, Barca did start off with this lineup right here. We had Joan Garcia in goal. Our four defenders were Jules Conde, Ronald Araujo, Gerard Martin, and Alejandro Balde. Our two midfielders, it was Frankie de Jong and Gavi. And then our front four, we had Rafinha, Pedro Fernandez, Lamine Yamal, and Lewandowski. Now, as for Gerard Martin as center back, I do think that he played really well today. Honestly, I think he heard me talking shit about him in the last videos. But I do think he did really well today in center back alongside Araujo. Whenever he was called upon to, handle the offside trap, I think he did really well. As well as him taking space when he did have the ball with him. I think he did really well as well. And even his passing, he actually did go on to assist. I believe it was Barca's first goal, if I'm not mistaken, for Lewandowski. But Gerard Martin, I do think he played well overall, in the center back position. At first, when I did see him in the center back position, I was skeptical. But maybe Hansi Flick sees something that I don't, or that we don't, probably. So it was interesting to see him play in the center back position once again. I'm wondering if that's going to be his new position from here on out, or how Hansi Flick is going to be handling his minutes from in the next match to come or throughout the season. So that's going to be interesting to see. It was rumored that apparently Inigo Martinez and Fermin Lopez, they did have a bit of muscle fatigue, so that could have been a reason why too, that Hansi Flick did include Gerard Martin in that center back position instead of someone like Inigo Martinez. As for Joe Fernandez, I do think it was good to see him in the lineup too. Again, it was the case of Fermin being out, so Joe Fernandez was thrown in there. And honestly, I think he did pretty well. He is 17 years old, so of course there is going to be confidence to be built. There's going to be things that he needs to develop. But I do think he did pretty well in terms of occupying space. And when he did have the ball, letting the ball go quickly and being confident on the ball when he had to be. He did end up missing a pretty crazy chance. Throughout that first half, he was fed a ball from the left-hand side. And it was a tap-in, but he did end up flying it. So he could have actually gotten on the score sheet, but unfortunately it just wasn't meant to be today. I am going to be looking forward to see how Joe Fernandez actually does, throughout the season, if Hansi Flick, decides to give him any minutes, or what his position is going to be in the first team, or if he even is going to get a first position. That's going to be something to look out for sure. Now, the one person I do think had a really good game, it is Lamine Yamal. Oh my god, Lamine Yamal, throughout that whole first half, he was just cooking throughout the right wing. He just kept trying to make things happen. He looked more like the Lamine Yamal that we know. Doing those crazy dribbles inside and out, that Trivela pass, those passes in behind, and even trying to shoot on own goal, trying to get his goal. Lamine was just doing everything in that first half. Honestly, I think he was the best performer in that first half by far, and it's not even that close. A lot of people were saying, in the first preseason match that, Lamine's done, this, and that, but nah, far from that. Lamine, today, I think he looked really great. He's making a lot of things happen, and man, Lamine, he's just something. He's just something for sure. The Daegu players didn't even know how to handle him or what to do with him. And Lamine, he actually did go on to assist Gavi's goal. Because Gavi, he is another one of the players that I do think performed really well. Gavi, he did actually get 2 goals in this match. So Lamine assisted Gavi for Barca's first goal. And Gavi dispatched it nice and cool into the right hand corner, as cool as you like. And then Gavi got another chance, making a run in behind, being assisted by Jules Koundé, who put in a really great filter pass in. And Gavi, as cool as you'd like, he finished it with a nice little chip goal. Araujo did try to take away the goal from Gavi, but it was already in the back of the net before Araujo touched it in. But I think Gavi did do really good as well. I am really looking forward to see how Gavi continues to progress throughout the season. He most definitely is going to have a really great season, I believe, if he can stay healthy and fit. Of course, last season was one thing where he was just coming back from that ACL injury, but now, with him being fully fit and getting that sharpness back, I do think it's going to be a case of him trying to compete with the other players for position in that midfield. I mean, he's going to have to compete against the likes of De Jong, Casado, and Bernal. I mean, Pedri, for me, I think he's an undisputed starter, no doubt. We'll go ahead and get onto him in the second half. But, yeah, I do think, it was really good to see Barca in the first half. They did get those 3 goals. The first goal from Gavi, the second goal from Lewandowski, with a really great pass from Gerard Martin. It was a nice low-driven pass for Lewandowski just to tap in. I mean, again, like I said, Gerard Martin, if you're watching this, I'm sorry for talking shit. You did have a good game today, so I do have to give credit where credit's due. And then Gavi, of course, he had his 3rd goal. And that was basically Barca's first half. Daegu, they did start off defensively well. But after about 27 minutes or so, they did end up caving in. They actually had a really good chance in the first half. So Barca's defense was undone by a simple 1-2 on the left wing. The defenders were chasing the Daegu players. And then the Daegu player crossed the ball from the left-hand side all the way to the right-hand side. Joan Garcia did misjudge the ball and missed it. And Daegu had an open goal, but the Daegu player ended up flying the ball over. And then after that, it was just a case of, Barca scoring those 3 goals, like literally right after that chance. That's where Barca's first goal came, and Daegu, they just lost the plot. So the score ended 3-0 at halftime. And mainly all the action was in the first half. But let's go ahead and get on to the second half, as again, I do think there is a few things to cover with certain players in that second half. Now, Barcelona in the second half, again, as we've been seeing through these last 2 preseason matches, they did field a completely different 11. In the second half, we did have Szczesny in goal, Eric Garcia as a right back, Kubarsi and Christensen as a center back pairing, and Hofre Torrens as a left back. In the midfield, we had Casado and Pedri as 2 midfielders, deeper midfielders. And in the front 4, we had Tony Fernandez, Dani Olmo, Rooney, and Rashford. Now, it was really interesting to see Rashford in the number 9 position. I think Rashford did have a really good game in that 9 position overall. He was dropping deep to collect the ball, and whether it was just him trying to make spaces for players to run in behind, or him collecting the ball from deep, trying to make something happen and dribble or take a shot on. I do think Rashford had a really good game in that number 9 position. It was the first time that we did see Rashford in the number 9 position. In the last 2 games, we saw him as a left winger. And I do think little by little, Rashford is getting his confidence, his game back. So I am really looking forward to seeing more and more of Rashford as we do continue with our last preseason match and throughout the season. So it's going to be really interesting to see for sure. And Rashford, he even did get a goal too. Rashford was assisted for, I believe it was the 5th goal. Yeah, it was the 5th goal. He got a really nice low driven pass from Eric Garcia, and Rashford, as coolly as you like, he dispatched that 5th goal. Cool fashion. But yeah, that was Rashford's game basically. And another player that I was surprised to see in the lineup, it was Tony Fernandez. Now Tony Fernandez, I do think he had a really good game as well. He was linking up really well with the likes of Dani Olmo and Rashford. Actually, finding ways to run in behind or collecting the ball from deep, trying to make things happen in the front line. He actually did end up getting Barca's 4th goal in a nice little interplay with Rashford, Dani Olmo, and himself. It was a nice little tiki-taka goal. You had a Rashford dropping in deep, passing it back to Dani Olmo, and Dani Olmo with a nice through ball for Barca's 4th goal. So it was really nice to see Tony Fernandez get a goal, and that really beautiful goal. In all honesty, go watch it to see for yourself. It was a really nice, quick play, which was a little bit like the old Barca. So it was cool to see that. And Dani Olmo, I do think he actually had a really good game today. He looked more lively, more involved in trying to make things happen. Of course, he did assist the 4th goal, and he actually did have a chance or two on goal. But I think Dani Olmo, he did look more sharp than he did in the last 2 games. So that was really good to see as well. Now, I'd say the only unfortunate thing throughout this second half, of course, the second half was a bit slower. Of course, we did have those 2 goals, and Barca just dominating the possession. But the unfortunate thing that we did see in the second half is Kubarsi going down with an injury. It wasn't around the 86th minute where he did go down with that injury. He was grabbing onto his calf, it looked like. The good thing is he was able to walk off. Let's just hope that it's nothing too serious, as we are getting closer and closer to the new season. And Kubarsi, as we know, he is a really important player to the team, as we saw last season. And then even Hansi Flick's facial expression showed it of how important Kubarsi is. But let's hope that everything is good. That was basically Barca's game right there against Daegu FC. That was their last match in their Asia tour in this preseason. Now Barca's next match is going to be against FC Como. It's going to be against Cesc Fabregas' team, who is a familiar face for us Barca fans. And also Sergio Roberto does play there as well. And that next match is going to be coming this Sunday. And it's going to be the last preseason match that we have before the season starts on August 16th. So it's going to be a lot to look out for sure throughout, these coming days, weeks for that next match, and then Barca's season to start. You guys let me know what you guys think in the comments down below of what you guys thought of those players I did highlight, and also the overall performance of the team, of how Barca played. I really do appreciate you guys for tuning in, for those of you guys that are watching. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Your support truly does mean a lot to me. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Until next time, peace out.